Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Marvel Battle Lines. There's a deck that I've been playing with that I've been having quite a bit of fun with, and I want to go over that. But today is also a cool day because this is the first day of my first giveaway that I've had on my channel. I'm going to go over the details of that at the end of this video. But first, before we get into all of that, if you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So let's just go ahead and jump right into Arena. I'm sitting in Arena 6 right now. I dropped a little bit because I was doing some tests with a bunch of decks. And in one of my videos, Batman Lord made a comment about being able to stay up in the higher levels of the arena using Black Panther. And I've never really used him before, so I figured, hey, let's go ahead and check him out. Now, if you're not familiar with Black Panther, now, he adds 200 additional leader hit points, and then once his hit points get below 1,000, he causes 80 damage to all enemies on the battlefield. This wasn't really a viable leader for me before because the threshold in which his abilities kicked in was much lower than that 1,000 hit points. But now that it's at 1,000, I've had quite a bit of success with him. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in the arena and show you kind of how I use this deck. All right, so Thanos is tough with this deck because I got to really keep an eye on my opponent's cosmic fragments. And this deck plays kind of slow anyway, so let's see how this battle turns out. Let's go ahead and throw a Scorpion out. Swap some cards out to get another zero cost character card out. I'm going to keep Quake in hand. Drax is a little bit later play. There we go. We got Black Cat. All right, so this card here, I don't have Tactical Retrieval. It's a one-cost card now, and it's really not a card that I want to throw in my deck. It's more now a mid to late game card. So I like using this one right here in conjunction with Black Cat, and this is what I do. So I'll go ahead and do a scan here, bring up one or two. We brought up one, and then I'll move Cat. I'll move her, and then I'll pick up both. Well, that's typically how I use that card with Black Cat, and it helps build up my cosmic fragments quite a bit, and especially when I'm going up against Thanos here, I definitely want to be careful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go 2 for 2. And throw out Iron Man here. My opponent's got 3 cosmic fragments so far, so I got a couple more moves before they wipe everybody out. Okay, we'll take that damage. Just over 1,000, so we're not going to do any other damage right now. I need to thin the crowd out here a little bit. He's got 3. I guess I'm gonna have to use Captain America right here. Okay, so there's a 3. He's going to wipe out my guys. I have 4 fragments. And then we'll start all over. If he doesn't grab that 3, Well, it's on his next turn, right? Didn't grab it. All right. That's okay. So he's down to 1. I've got some additional moves here. What does Corvus do here? Powerful game. Okay, that's all right. So let's see what I want to do here. I want to pick up some stuff. I'm saving my action cards for a little bit later in the game. I'm going to move this guy out for right now. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring him out. But he's a 6. We're going to have to get rid of him. And then put Malekith out. I was hoping to save that for a little bit later in the game, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Okay, it's going to take care of Malekith there. I'm going to bring Drax out down here. Now, he can attack there. So with Thanos, you just got to be really careful and watch the cosmic fragments so you don't overextend yourself, and build up your own cosmic fragments so you have a move after all your characters are gone. All right, so there's Vision. Vision is what? Can move 2 slots at a time, phases through other characters. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Vision. And then I'm going to move Quake right here. Does it reach all the way? Yeah, it does. It reaches all the way to Scorpion over there. Okay, so what are we going to do here? So right now, let's see, I've got 7. I need a 500 card. $460. That's 10, 17. This should do it if I'm doing my math right. 12, 6, 12. Yep, right there. And that should win the match. Yep. And there we go. Thanos is gone. That right there really took some thinking. All right, there we go. Boom. And we're done. We won that match. So let's go ahead and go over the deck really quick. That match really took some thinking on my part. So let me go through my deck really quick, let you know kind of my thought process on how this deck works and how I've been using it. I have Quake in here in order to remove abilities, special abilities from my opponents on the battlefield. You got to use Quake very specifically because she only impacts opponents that are diagonally from her and only enemies with the highest attack. So she has taken the place of the virus that I used to have in my deck that I used to use. Now, I went over the strat for Black Cat a little bit more. I still think she's a great card to have in your deck. After moving, gain 1 nearby Cosmic Fragment mound from the battlefield. I use her along with Box of Scraps. So now this one scans 1 to 2 Cosmic Fragments on the targeted slot without Cosmic Fragments there. So an empty spot on the board, and then add 55 attack to all allies nearby. Now the 55 attack I don't really use. What I do use is finding Cosmic Fragments where there aren't any. So I'll do like you saw with Cat. Went ahead and did one that I could strategically use so that when I move Cat, I can pick up the Cosmic Fragment from the space that I'm moving to, as well as bring in that Cosmic Fragment that Box of Scraps found. Karen Page, still a great card to have in there because every time she gets knocked out, she gains a Cosmic Fragment. Now, especially when I have a leader that doesn't generate their own Cosmic Fragments, such as Iron Man, I have Scorpion in here for 2 reasons. Number 1, because obviously a special ability. He will knock out any enemy regardless of how powerful they are if he causes the damage. You can also see his health is at 180. Now that works well with this card right here, Thunder God's Descent. So this targets an ally with hit points below 200, so it was critical that I found a card that I could use with this. And then return the target ally to the library, and then summon Thor with 700 attack, 700 hit points on that position. This is an action card that brings in a fighter for me. So with him and Malekith, I get 2 low-cost damagers on the board that does continual damage for every turn. So those 2 cards I use together. Captain America, still a great card, does quite a bit of damage to every enemy that's around him, so that's why he's down there. Again, important in this game is to get characters on the board that have these persistent abilities, whether it's continually buffing themselves up like Drax, or when you summon them, they do damage, or when they're on the board, they continually do damage every turn. I've got Guide to the Afterlife. Select an enemy with less than 1,000 hit points just so I can wipe them from the board. Malekith, similar to Thor. The reason why I have him there is because he has that persistent ability. Iron Man. I think Iron Man, for me, has bumped up a tier because before he was only damaging 2 enemies. Now he's damaging 3 enemies with his smart missiles. Very useful. And a lot of times, I'll sacrifice him. I'll summon him, and then I'll sacrifice him to take somebody else out. That'll wipe him out so that I can use him again. As long as my luck is there to pull him back pretty quick. But targeted lock here to do 1,045 damage. Another big damager. Now, I'm playing around a little bit because I have target locked. I have Guide to the Afterlife. These 2 do major damage. Plus, I have Scorpion to remove big threats too. So maybe I'm a little heavy there. I don't know, but it's been working. Drax, again, he's a grower. You can have him. You can have She-Hulk in here. I just like Drax. He just has a reliable growth. He adds 150 attack and 150 HP. I know that She-Hulk could potentially be better depending on how many allies are on the field or how many cards are on the field. I just use Drax because he's very predictable. And then just to go back to Black Panther's leader ability, again, adds 200 additional leader hit points. And then once he gets below 1,000 hit points, which you didn't get to see in this battle here, then he causes 80 damage to all enemies on the battlefield, which is very useful. So a lot of times I will allow that first attack to get below that 1,000 because then it just continually damages every turn. And then I essentially have 3 damagers on the field at some point later in the game because I'll have Thor, Malekith, and then I have Black Panther doing the damage. So there's been battles where every time my opponent has put something on the battlefield, because of all 3 of those damages, it's wiped multiple characters out on the board, and it's hard for them to keep up with that. So that's why this deck has been working so well for me. All right, everybody, that's what I wanted to show you today, was this deck, something I've been playing around with. And again, it's been a while since I put a Marvel Battle Lines video together, so again, I apologize for how long it took to get one out. All right, so there you go. I hope you like the deck. I hope you like the video. Now to get into my giveaway. As I mentioned in my last video, it was very cool. Nexon sent me some cool stuff from New York Comic Con. I've got some posters and some pins to go ahead and give away. And all you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. What is your favorite card? What's your must-have card you have to have pretty much in all your decks? Doesn't have to be in every single one of them, but one that you find in your decks more than anything else. All right, and that is it. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to smash that like button and leave your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.